Hello and welcome to Miniature Realms and welcome to 10mm Wars of the Roses Project Vlog 3. I've been chipping away at the project, been chipping away at all my projects actually, but thought I would come back and record another short vlog update as I've completed a few more things and had a few more thoughts about some of the things I was discussing in the previous couple of vlogs as well. So as you see in front of me on the table, I've got a few things that I finished painting, but I thought I'd just go through a couple of other things I've done research wise first before I give you a closer look at those. I finished reading the Freezy Water Publications book Battle of Tewkesbury. It's really useful, and I think I've covered it before, but it has a account of the battle. It's quite a short one. I know some things may have changed since that was written, some thoughts on how things were, but I definitely find it very interesting. It's a nice introduction, and then there's also a roll of arms in there as well, and the roll of arms is, as I said, it's not sort of useful per se, day-to-day stuff. There's a big list of lords and nobles and all the named people and a few lesser known people who that has been recorded to have attended the battle, but it makes a really nice list so that should you wish to name a lord or a knight or something for a particular unit, you can name check them in the list and then find their coat of arms and livery and etc, so it can be pretty handy for that. I've also picked up the standard badges and livery colours of the Wars of the Roses, also from Freezy Water, and there's quite a few in this series. This is more of a kind of an all-round book covering the livery things, and I wasn't quite sure what to expect, so I thought I'd pick it up before I picked up the others. It's very good. I've only had a quick thumb through. Not so many colour plates and things that I expected. I don't really know what I expected. It's mainly standards in terms of colour plates and things, but I think you probably need all the books, and they will add up quite a lot if you purchase them all, and quite a lot of the stuff's Googleable anyway, so it's really how much you want to own and have in your collection. But I may pick up the others bit by bit, but I'm still going to dig into it and have a little read. Tell you what, my favourite thing about this book is actually the artwork, which is really fantastic. On the back cover it's repeated, so I'll just show you an image of that as well. And it's really fantastic. I've been trying to make out the artist's name. I think it's M something Williams maybe. If anyone knows who the artist is, let me know. And I really like it. It reminds me of the kind of John Blanche style pictures that you found in the early Warhammer fantasy books and things. Now, as I'm saying that, I feel like I've heard someone say that as well, so that may well be Martin on something, I don't know, but I really like that artwork. It's really cool. I'd love to have a copy of that artwork somewhere, even just framed up, or make a cool t-shirt or something. But anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about. So I will thumb through that. It's more of a kind of a reference thing, something I'll pick up here and there. And then I've also been working through I'm starting to read Tewkesbury, Eclipse of the House of Lancaster, 1471 by Stephen Goodchild, and that's the book I'm currently reading through, and it's really very good. It sets the scene nicely. I'm about halfway through the book at the moment, so in the middle of the battle itself. I'm hoping it will give me a lot of the information I need for the game I want to do, and also have to help me collect the forces. But I'll come back to more of that as and when I've read more of it. Maybe by the time of the next vlog I may well have finished it. But anyway, you're not here to find out what I've been reading. You're here to look at painted models usually. Tends to be what most people find interesting to see on the channel. So I've completed one more unit. So it's my first unit of knights or men-at-arms. I've also painted up the 3 Battlescale buildings that I showed in the little review video I did a few weeks ago. So let's have a little closer look at those ones first, and we'll come back to the painted models themselves. So, as I said before, I'm a big fan of these Battlescale buildings. They're really good value. I will try and remember to put a link in now for that review video. Solid cast resin, really cheap, and they're just packed with detail, but nothing too overly complicated. And they just paint up really nicely. I'm really happy with them. Really simple. Black spray, zenithal grey, quite a light grey. It's Vallejo grey and primer, and then contrast for everything. I left the white bits very light grey to start with. Contrast for everything else, a mixture of contrast colours. I won't list them all here. So contrast all of those, and I did some stippling on the white areas and some dry brushing on the wood, and a bit of dry brushing on the roof, and then added some weathering powders and some tufts just to weather them all in. And I think they look great for the tabletop. Absolutely fantastic. Now, depending on the setup of the battle itself, it looks like Gupshill Manor in Tewkesbury would be on the battlefield, either behind the lines or in the middle, depending on which battle line you agree with. There's a bit of a debate about where the battle was actually fought, and these were close enough to the style of buildings for Gupshill Manor, so that was my thought process for picking these up initially. Obviously they're just very, very all-round and useful for this period as it is, and I'll probably pick up some more, especially this design. It's designed as a townhouse, so to speak, so you could line them all up together and have quite a few in a row. And you wouldn't need too many more of these to start, doing a really nice look of a rendition of St Albans or something like that. But and it'll also work if I go on and do some English Civil War, which I plan to in the future, potentially in the same scale. But I just think they're really, really charming little sculpts, and they're so cheap. Really good service, small business, but absolutely fantastic. So can't recommend Battlescale enough for 10mm stuff, and maybe for 15mm if you're, as I said before, if you're trying to look at slightly smaller footprint buildings and things in order to kind of squeeze them in a smaller gaming space, but can't beat them for 10mm. They do other scales as well, but really, really a big fan of these. So I'll put some stills up of these later as well, but again, I did the review and said they were nice, and I just think they're fantastic, and I will be picking up some more. I think to do Gupshill Manor, I think the plan was to kind of place a couple of them to one side, and then there was another building the other side of the road, so maybe put this on the other side. We'll see. When I start laying out stuff on the table like I did for my American Civil War project, we'll have a look at those then. Let's have a look at the miniatures. So here we are. So the first unit of men-at-arms, so the same basing style as I did for the original Bill and Bow mixed unit, which is shown in VOC number 2. There's a little bit of a mix on there. I think to make up the numbers, there's one Bill guy there, which I thought I'd sort of paint up as a bit of a knight, but essentially they're painted. Most of them are painted in just their armour, because the models don't have sort of surcoats and things over the top. But occasionally I wanted to sort of add a little bit of extra colour, so he was the way I could do it on this base. I've stuck to the irregular number, so I'm trying to keep to the 7 a base to keep that kind of so I don't get those ranks. I want them, by doing 7 it means that I've got a bit of an irregular line. I know you can do it regular with even numbers, but by doing the odd number it just seems to help that. And then you'll see that I have painted some liveries on. So this is Lord Cobham. That's his livery banner, and this is actually his livery colours that he would wear himself. As far as I'm aware, I may have made a mistake, someone may come out and tell me. And then his normal unit's livery colours are the black and the red, and I think I mentioned that in the first unit I did. I wanted to maybe look like that some of his men were wearing his own livery, and most of the men were wearing the overall commander's livery, which are being Edwards. So that's what I've done. So as I said, most of them are just the plain armour. They're incredibly quick to paint, especially with airbrushes and dry brushing, etc. I painted the little sort of feather plumes on top. I wasn't sure what colour to do them, and a lot of the reference pictures I've seen, there's not many models with them, though I did see a few with white, so I'd done them predominantly white, and I've just put a little bit of yellow at the bottom because I thought that would match in with his heraldry, really. And we'll see how it goes. There is a drummer at the back of the middle stand who I've kind of put the black and the red as in the sort of the standard livery for the troops, for Cobham's troops, but I've also used yellow on there as well to sort of bring in a little bit from his personal livery. Whether that's right or not, who knows? It probably doesn't really matter at this scale. And then the final thing, let me just take those two away. So there was a little bit of chat. I was talking a little bit about the size of the flag, and what I thought was right, and whether I could get away with using the 15mm or the 10mm, etc. Thank you for all the people that commented on that last video. Firstly, thank you for the person. I haven't got it here in front of me, so I haven't checked your name, so I'm sorry. Thank you for the person who told me that on the flag sheet, the Pendragon one that I showed, Edward's own personal livery banner was actually there. And it's here. It's that one. So I did have it. I also worked out that I can order them from Freezy Water anyway. There's just separate sheets, so I ordered everything I thought I needed, and there are a couple more sheets that have a lot of the personal liveries for lords rather than their standards and things. So it'll be for their troops to carry rather than the ones to show exactly where the leaders were on the battlefield. So thanks everyone for everyone's help with that, especially Martin Seventhson again, who messaged me and commented on the video, but thanks for everyone else who did as well. So this is your 10mm flag. So this is your 15mm Freezy Water. And yes, it's not the right size, but I'm going to decide, I put it on there to see what it looked like. And I really like it. I do like the larger size. I think it actually looks better. It's probably not as realistic, of course, but I think it looks much better. So I'm going to stick with them. It's easier, means I'm not having to make copies and reduce them in size. There are other 10mm companies out there. I know War Games Designs, he messaged me again to say that he was starting to release his. But he doesn't have all the ones I need at the moment, so I may pick up some of them in the future. So I may have a little bit of the differences in sizes and things. I'm probably going to keep Edwards on there. That one's not glued on, so I'm probably going to keep that on there for now. And when I get around to doing an order for Freezy Water again in the future, maybe a couple more of those books, I will order in the correct livery banners, or the right banners for the laws for the other troops. So I will get those bits in, and if that flag's on there, which I presume it may be, I will carry on and swap it over. But that was it really. I just wanted to give a little update on what I've done, and it's going to be with all the other projects I'm doing at the moment. I am still quite busy with the kids being off school. I know my nursery child is still going to nursery, but my one child off school. So personal hobby time's a little bit short at the moment, and I'm working on a few projects, and work's very, very busy. So I'm not able to just kind of bash out loads and loads and loads of units at a time. But I am able to grab myself an hour or here or there, or 2 hours here or there during the week, and just do a unit, and that's what I've done. So I've done one of each of the main types of unit now. I think the next thing I'm going to do for a bit of fun is I'm going to do my final bit of research on how many guns, how many cannons I think I need, and then decide how I'm going to base them. I'm thinking of maybe, because I've got so many, potentially basing a couple of cannons to a base to represent one in the game, as I'm using this smaller scale. Final decision not made. So the next video, unless I change my mind, but the next video is likely to be around any research I've done about how many cannons I'm going to use. I'll go back to my plan, which I showed you in the last video, of what things I'm going to need, and I'll hopefully paint up a stand of cannon as well, so you'll see what that looks like. And then while doing that, I may well get a chance to do my final bit of research around what mercenaries and things. I think I'm going to order some handgunners, and it's whether there will be any pikes and mercenary crossbowmen that may have come over with Margaret or Anjou. So we will see, but I'll do a final bit of research, and that will let me know what the final bits I need to order for Pendragon is as well for this little thing. So anyway, thank you very much for tuning in and watching another vlog of mine. Hopefully you're enjoying the progress as I go along. I can definitely see how these armies are going to look on the table, and now I've done 2 units together, and I'm thinking that another couple of those bill and bow and a cannon or something, and that's going to make up a battle. I can see how that they'll look nicely all stretched out on the table, but also it's not going to be the biggest project in the world either, so I can see that once I get my head down and get some painting time, it should come together quite quickly, which excites me quite a lot. So a few little things, but yeah, I think next video is going to be around my final purchases and the final makeup of the army, and hopefully with some painted cannon. So thank you very much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe and all of that jazz, and I will catch you soon.